Hi and welcome to MFL Outdoors, and this afternoon I'm going to be putting up a new trail cam. I'm putting up the Voopeak TC25. It's a new one that's been sent to me by Voopeak for me to try out. So I'm going to set that one up in the normal way that I've done the previous ones, but we're putting it in a new location, so we're going to see what it picks up. Quite a bit of activity by the looks of it. There's a good run going through, so let's go and do that now. Okay, as you can see here, there's a good couple of runs going through here and then joining up. So I'm going to put the camera a bit further on. Oh, then we've got Mr. Rabbit doing a runner. I don't know if you picked that up. I don't know if the camera got that. He's been sitting in the grass down here, getting a bit of fresh air, I guess. Yeah, I think I might put the camera there because it's covering both areas and I'll hopefully pick something up. Right, let's get to do that. The camera comes with 10 feet of cable for the solar panel, so you can actually remove the solar panel and mount that somewhere else. So if you're inside the wood and you want it further out to get the most light, you can do that. Not that we get that much sun in the UK anymore. Right, let's see if we can get this tightened up. You could just see the red and blue light there. That'll actually change to all blue when it's connected to the network via the 4G. I'm tying up the cables as much as I can because we get some really strong winds here and I don't want them coming loose and flapping around in front of the lens. Right, well, everything looks securely tied there. Okay, and there it is, set up. So as you can see, it's got the solar panel on here. That's your main lens, it's 2K, and that one there obviously is your sensor, and it'll also have the infrared built in as well. There's the antenna, and as you can see, I've put a lock system on here, which goes through twice, which is really good, and it locks it all together. So someone can get it, but of course they're going to have to break it. it's no use to them anyhow because they're all password protected and they're also synced to an account, so unless you relinquish them from your account they can't be used. And then I've tied all this back just in case, because we get high winds and you don't want that flapping around and getting in front of the lens. But yeah, so that's the camera all done, and that's the area that it's actually monitoring. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of movement going through here. There's a track going through. It splits off into two, and there's also going down there, so it might come up through here, pick that up. So yeah, see it going under there and going off down, so seems to be stuff coming through from all over the place. Right, well that's the TC25 from Voopeak set up. I'll put that on the tree. It's got good sight for the 4G, and also for the solar panel to get some light from it. Not that we have a lot of light now because we're into winter, but hopefully we'll get some good footage from that, and it's on a good track by the look of it, a good trail track, so yeah, all good. Right, I'm going to make my way back to the motor, leave this here for a few days, and then we'll come back and check and see how the footage is. I'm now going to head over to another location and we're going to do a ratting night. Right, so tonight I'm going to be using the FX DRS, that's in 177, and I'll be using a heavy slug in that. I'll also be using the NV500 from Oneleaf, that's their night vision scope, and this time I'm using the new lens they sent me, which is the 30mm lens, and it also has the adjustable aperture. So I'm going to give that one a try and see how we get on with that. It should be quite good. So at least with the adjustable aperture you don't have to use that silly sunshade thing. I'm sorry, I don't like that sunshade that they have for the NV400 and the NV500. But with the adjustable aperture you can narrow the light down, so you don't have to have that on. Well, not as far as I'm concerned anyhow. Right, let's get to it. It's ratty night, so I'm going to have a look around the buildings and around the chicken pen and the duck pen, see if there's anything kicking around. There's one or two fresh holes, so I'm expecting one or two rats. It shouldn't be too bad because I do the Redenticide contract on here, so they're pretty well controlled, but you always get new ones moving in. Okay, tonight I'm using the FX DRS in 177, that's sub 12 foot-pounds, and on that I've got the Oneleaf NV500 scope with the new 30mm lens they've sent me because it has removable lenses, and this one has the adjustable aperture on it, so it'd be interesting to see how that works. I'm using the unique UH50 thermal spotter, and I'm using the Manbily tripod. So let's get set up and see what we can find. And there we have our first rat of the night. It's just off to the right underneath the duck shed. Can't see anything else at the moment. Yeah, just that one. But as you can see, they're really hard to shoot because they spend all their time under there. It's just a waiting game. And here we have a tawny owl. It's just about 50 metres down the wall from where I am. We have a lot of owls on here. And here I'm round the other side of the duck shed, and you can just see a heat signature on the floor, which is another rat, but I can't get a shot at it because it's so difficult to get in between the little gaps. There's always something in the way, so I'll just have to wait and see if it moves down a bit. I've tried in the past putting bait down to see if I can get them to come out to it, but they never do. Now that's a cracking picture. Wow, that one's a size. You wouldn't want that running up your trouser leg. I'll hang around for a bit and see if that one comes back, but I think it saw me. Here's another one under the shed. I was waiting to see if it would come out, but they don't. They just sit under there, and it makes it really hard to take a shot. And as you can see how hard it is, and that's what I can actually see through the night vision as opposed to the thermal. And they're lightning fast. You can just see the pellet hole that was in the just behind. They're so quick. Right, I've moved back round to the other side because I've noticed a few of them running backwards and forwards in a gap. So I'll give it a try from here. Well, that one wasn't quick enough, and that gap's only about ½ an inch. And as you can see from the thermal, I've shot a few under there now. That gap's only about ½ an inch, so I can't retrieve them. It's just really frustrating trying to shoot them round here. I had this strange feeling something was watching me, and I turned round to my left, and there's a fox sitting on the wall, just about 50 metres again down from me where the owl was. It's actually barking at me. I've never had this happen before. He's not happy I'm here. I bet it was making its way up towards the duck shed and the chicken shed to have a look round, and then it's seen me standing there. I've got to say, I've never had a country fox as brazen as this one. I've cut some of the footage out because it was there for absolutely ages, just barking away at me, voicing its opinion, wanting me out the way. As you can see, it's in no hurry. It's just checking out the field, just making its way down the boundary. And there it looks back just to see if I'm still there. I put a high seat up a while ago on this site, and it's actually just off to the left. It's overlooking that field, so I'll be coming back to sit in there and wait for this one and see how it barks at me then. And as always, I'll bring you along too. There hasn't been any foxes in here since the last one I shot, so it's been quite a while. So I'm imagining this one's moved in and claimed the territory. The alpacas are as bewildered as I am. Right, back to the rats. The picture might look a bit grainy because I've got it on really high magnification in a close space, and that's basically to try and get the pellet through those gaps. It doesn't look like I got that one, but I did. It tried to pull back, but obviously the pellet went underneath and hit it, and then it sort of rattled around and disappeared underneath there to the back of the shed. I actually saw that through the thermal, but unfortunately I hadn't recorded it. This one's doing the last waltz. You can see that one just off to the right of the IBC. Well, the alpacas have settled down, and we've got an owl sitting on the floor in the middle of the screen. That's another tawny owl. Everything else looks quiet. A few bunnies. Right, well that's enough for me, and that's a strange end to the night. I've never had a fox do that before. Stand on a wall barking at me. It was barking for about 5 minutes, It wasn't happy I was there at all. I think it wanted to get over to the duck shed and it could see me there and was just voicing its opinion. But I'll be voicing my opinion back to it when I go down next time. Right, well, the NV500 performed well, and the lens they sent me, the 30mm with the adjustable aperture, that was fine. So no problems there, and thank you to Oneleaf for sending that. It was a bit of an aggravating night. There was a few rats that I managed to get. I think it was about 5 in total. There was 4 under the shed and 1 that was actually outside next to the IBC. But it's really hard trying to shoot them. They're really skittish. They don't like to come out from under the sheds, and the food's there, so they don't need to. As you saw, those gaps I was shooting through are literally ½ an inch, if that, in places. So you win some, you lose some. But that's why I use the rodenticide, because it's just an easier way of doing it, and it's the only way you can target them. I'll try to shoot them where I can. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Anyhow, I've had enough, and I'm going home for something to eat and a drink as usual. And all that's left for me to say is thanks very much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't. There's over 78% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, and by subscribing it really does help me, and it costs nothing. So all the best, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Take care, bye for now.